Then we have the cluster B folks. Now, in the DSM-4, they talk about cluster B as being erratic, dramatic, emotionally kind of labile. I like to think of self-centered. That, for me, kind of explains these 4 disorders. Cluster A, we have 3 of them. Cluster B, 4, and cluster C, 3 disorders for a total of 10. These folks are self-focused, self-centered. So when I think of these disorders, I think of that phrase, self-focused. And we have borderline folks, and for me to remember this category, I think of people who kind of flip-flop. They're flip-floppers. They love you one second, they hate you the next. They put you on a pedestal one moment, they kick you off the next. Something you said, something you failed to say, something you did, something you failed to do. You know, you're in their graces, you're not in their graces. In terms of mood, they're okay one moment, they're not the next. You know, they're depressed, they're blue, they're sad. They're okay again the next moment, but they're just bouncing. I guess bouncing is another word to think of there. Flip-floppers, they're bouncing. Anger control, again, they're with it, they're not with it. They're with it, they're not with it. And then self-image, they're okay with themselves, they hate themselves. Okay, hate. They're the cutters in life. They love cutting themselves. Usually part of this behavior is into manipulating other people, controlling other people, getting people not to leave them. They don't realize that what they do is actually pushing people away. But the bouncers or the flip-floppers, I guess, is what I think of. Antisocial, these are, if you look at the worst extreme, you're looking at serial killers. These are people who, if they want something, they have no problem stepping on you to get what they want in life. In fact, they'll probably blame you for being in the way of what they need to get to. I mean, if you loan them money, and you wanted the money back, they'd call you a jerk for loaning the money in the first place. You would never turn your backs on these folks. They can be socially charming, but the longer you get to know them, the more pathology you start to see, and you begin to understand they're users. It's all what's in it for them. There's no empathy, there's no understanding what you're going through, that sort of thing. No, that's beyond them. There's no remorse if they hurt you, no guilt. Yeah, so no conscience, basically. So you wouldn't turn your backs on these folks. Like Ted Bundy, serial killer. I have Madonna there because you might think of her as being histrionic. I'll skip one for a second. These are folks who like to be the center of attention. Now, whether that's her real persona or her celebrity persona is another thing. I don't know her personally, so I can't say. But histrionic folks want to be the center of attention. They don't want to be wallflowers. They want to be front and center. And they have problems if, they feel bad if they're not the center of attention. Narcissistic folks like to be the center of attention too, but they're grandiose. They believe the world does revolve around them. You should kind of bow down and worship them because they're God's gift to men or God's gift to women or whatever, but they deserve every ounce of attention that they get. So narcissists and histrionics have something in common. They want to be the center of attention, but narcissists will demand it and histrionics will plead for it. So those folks in general, whether you're looking at the flip-floppers, the bouncers, the don't turn your back on people, antisocials, the grandiose, the world revolves around me person, or the person who needs to be the center of attention because they're so needy, those are self-focused folks.